All right, guys. People, on a day. This particular video now Datti Ahmed, don't come out now again. Come talk about the journey to 2027, the possibility of Peter Obi getting the ticket of the ADC, why he never joined the ADC, and what Labour Party might offer in 2027. I want us to carefully listen to every statement from Baba Datti Ahmed. Let's watch this together.
I'm Charles Aniekolo. Now, one of the Labour Party's highest profile politicians, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, has made a daring move towards reconciling the party's warring factions. Peter Obi's running mate in the 2023 presidential election attended the National Executive Committee or NEC meeting of the Abure-led faction of the party amid the bitter battles for control that continue to ravage Labour. Mr. Datti Baba Ahmed said he was there not to take sides, but as a loyal party member and as a peacemaker determined to reconcile divergent opinions, as he put it. But even though he reaffirmed Peter Obi's commitment to the Labour Party, his attendance of the factional NEC meeting has raised concerns about loyalty and about the rectitude of his motives at a time in Nigerian politics when hunger for personal ambition seems to trump principle, even as many wonder whether the move will further sharpen the claws of the Abure-led faction in their fight against the Nenadi Usman group and ultimately deepen rather than decrease the devastation in the Labour Party. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the man himself, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed. Great to see you again.
Hi, Charles.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Pleasure and duty.
Just before we get into the Labour Party and your attempts to reconcile the factions, I wonder what you make of what happened today at the National Assembly with Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, briefly.
Lack of priorities or mispriorities. These are people who will not react to the recent dastard acts in the Northeast. Something just happened, you read it in the news. These are people who will not react when the Naira crashed again in 2023-24. These are people who will not react to constitutional breach or school abductions. That is, our priorities are completely misplaced. So I call what happened, well, with due respect to Natasha, I'm happy for her to go and get her seat back, but it was a joke. I am not impressed by those kind of things. If these people cannot come out and defend civic rights of what happens to your security, to your livelihood, yet they come out for frivolities. Nah. I won't talk too much on this, but not just them, in the whole, across the society in Nigeria. I do remember clearly, I got caught up in this traffic. This was the Maulud, which is our version of the birth of our Holy Prophet, and it held in 2017 here in Abuja. I estimated nothing less than 1 million people who sponsored themselves. They started arriving in Abuja at night, and it held the next day peacefully. They left Abuja peacefully. This was a religious matter because the venue then was set for Abuja. The traffic came from Mabushi, that is body to body, all the way to Eagle Square. And I got trapped in that peaceful procession. Now, I was telling myself, if these people turn left, you know what I mean by left? By Eagle Square, turn left, if they head into the villa, a helicopter will fly out with Buhari. and that's the end of the government. That is how easy it is. But Nigerians won't do that for anything, for their security, for their currency, for anything. We'll do it for ethnicity, we'll do it for religion, number one. We'll do it for religion and all that.
That's an
like
interesting
I can't
observation.
forget, let me finish again. Like, I can't imagine who goes around to villages killing hundreds and thousands of people. And they, again, because it must be hundreds of people who are killing hundreds of people. And 10 people will not come out for the sake of the naira. Priorities are completely misplaced. When you have 100 people protesting, police don't even have to come out. When you have 1,000 people protesting, they will be arrested. If you have 10,000 gunshots, water cannons, and arrests. If you have 100,000 people, they begin to look for the leaders to negotiate and make some transfers to them. When 1 million people protest, a helicopter flies out of the villa, or some cars smartly drive out through tunnels of the villa. Now, we still don't have our priorities right. And when I say democracy, constitutional democracy belongs to the people who have earned their freedoms. Democracy is for the United States of America. They fought, they drove away the British hundreds of years ago, War of Independence and all those. And in France, you know their history and all those. We Nigerians, Muslims, Christians, Northerners, Southerners, have to all understand what democracy is, even out, clean out religion and ethnicity and make it our private things. And it is civic matters that democracy is about. We have to stop talking about Northwest, South-South, South-Central, Southeast, and all these regions. Talk about social strata, the middle class, if it exists, the classes, talk about them. How will they vote? Talk about labor, TUC, talk about security personnel, talk about farmers, talk about traders, importers. Well, those are the geopolitical zones that we should be talking about.
Well, let's move in the direction of that vote, because the way to do it in the way that Nigeria's constitution operates at the moment is through a political party if you want to run for office. And from the point of view of the public, the picture of disharmony that's been emerging about the Labour Party, which you're a member of, has been getting bigger and more alarming. How did that look to you when you turned up at that factional NEC meeting led by Julius Abure?
This is what leadership is about. I'm not a Labour Party leader, but I aspired to a position of leadership. And leaders don't allow matters to degenerate, to disintegrate. Irrespective of which party, faction that are unfortunate in any case, I sympathize with or I belong to, there are times that you belong to everybody so long as you're a leader. And remember the doctrine of necessity. This became very, very necessary for me to do. If His Excellency Peter Obi and myself had been sworn in, there are things, if he didn't do, I must have to rise to that challenge.
Yeah, but I have to ask you why you felt that it fell on you to be the one to try to visibly and publicly unite the party.
I was just about to say.
Because most people would have thought that that task would fall on Peter Obi.
I was just about to say it.
Right, okay.
Not too long ago, his younger brother's company or property was smashed.
Yes, we saw that.
And I know he's been busy at that. He went to the Daura, and then
the funeral.
And in the last week also, one governor has been on his case that he should not travel, to...
You mean the governor of Edo State?
I don't know which state it is, but I know there's a state which the governor says he shouldn't come. So
yeah, it's Edo
I
State.
need to understand that Peter Obi's cup is full many, many times. And maybe he's shy, to say, you get up, go do this, and go do these things. And that's why I told you that leadership is about
taking initiative.
Thank you very much.
But was he aware of the fact that you were going to attend that meeting? Because I'm curious to know what his reaction would have been. If
he knows everything I do. I do carry him along.
Right.
Yeah.
So you told him you were
I absolutely told him that.
And what was his reaction?
I was going there. Peter Obi is a very easy and, you know, he leaves you to use your judgment and initiatives. And I trust that's what he did. But he was fully in the picture.
Right. But did he react when you told him you were going to go? If so, what was his reaction?
It's like, I'm indifferent about it. It's okay.
And what was the response of the Abure faction when you came to make the case that you came to make?
They were elated. They are yearning for leadership. And I told them I'm there to do it. They are yearning for an end, so to say, about whatever we're going through as a party. But while I was there to reconcile, I was also reconciling Labour Party and the general public by the same token. I was doing many things at the same time.
So in a sense, you were being, I mean, I'm wondering if you were being just politically pragmatic by your move, in the sense that some have suggested that the coalition may well end up anointing Atiku Abubakar as its candidate. Yes. And you and presumably Peter Obi don't want to be left in the lurch if that happens, which is why you're making these overtures to the Labour Party.
No. My own thinking was, convince me why I should come into ADC. Where was ADC in 2023 when Labour Party claimed we got 10 million votes? Where was ADC?
Yeah, but there's always a time when a coalition comes into
That's
existence.
what I'm saying. The coalition pointed us at, like, convince me. And the general message is that I am yet to be convinced to leave Labour Party. I am yet to be convinced. And Peter Obi himself, I don't want to speak for him, but when he's, okay, he will speak for himself. To the best that I know, Peter Obi is, and I repeated the welcome that Labour Party's arms are open to embrace back Peter Obi. I would like him to again win the nomination of Labour Party and contest in 2027 with or without me.
But you do know that there is a rumor going around, or reports going around that have suggested that you yourself want to run for president in 2027. You made that attempt before. I mean, you've been a presidential aspirant before, and you'd like to give it another go.
Some people speak their fears. It is not true. I never said that. There is electronic evidence of the entire procession. I didn't say that.
No, nobody said you said that at that meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I mean, you're a pretty smart guy politically. I doubt if you'd go there and say that. But is that something that you're thinking about?
Look at my trajectory. And I've said this repeatedly, that in 2019, I aspired for the presidency and I lost, together with 11 others. And during that contest, I felt so honored by a certain act which very few people, or probably no one recognized, is that there wasn't a single aspirant north of River Niger and Benue in that. This was a very good message. This was a very clear message. They decided to respect Peter Obi. Even during our campaigns, I was saying it, and Wikis and others. It's not that they didn't have the resources or the experience or the people to contest in 2019. They decided to wait it out. And I felt if my Nigerian brothers showed me this level of respect, the least I could do when it came to 2023, after the disappointment of the 8 years APC, was let a southerner come. Right. And I religiously supported Peter Obi, like I would do again.
Right.
So in 2027, unless if certain two people that I have tremendous respect for decide not to take it, and God Almighty in his infinite mercy keeps keeping it, dropping it for me, except if that happens. I can tell you Peter Obi for sure because he's in the game, he contested before. Yes, I'm with him, I'll support him. If he doesn't, or another person that I won't call his name from the South, they don't. Otherwise, I'm not ambitious.
Right.
My key ambition, stop the killings, stop the stealing, stop the slaying.
Well, you've made that clear. And let's return to the issue of you trying to reconcile the factions and trying to give the Labour Party back its mojo, as they say. We've seen Mr. Abure in the close company of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, recently. Wike, of course, openly working to re-elect President Tinubu in 2027. That image of the two of them together rubbed a lot of Labour Party supporters and Peter Obi supporters and generally opposition supporters up the wrong way. And it seemed to strengthen the impression that there is some sort of proxy political interference by the government in the Labour Party, and that the chaos in the party is allegedly sponsored by the state. And that is something that you yourself actually mentioned on this program. What's your reaction to that meeting? Because, as I said, I remember you on this program accusing Wike of trying to destroy the PDP and the Labour Party.
There is no way you can stop. How does the proverb go? There is no way you can, there's a certain animal, there's no way you can stop a thief from stealing. There is no way you can stop people in their ways. What you do, help the trick to trick the trick. Get your intelligence in whatever way you have. Try and maintain your security. Know all the underhand tactics of people. Manage it that way.
Right.
There's nothing else you can do. God has put us in this game with the sharks, like Tinubu, like the Wikis, and all those kind of things. It is left to us and the people to find our own ways, our wisdom to manage it. You know it is happening. You see it happening. But I keep saying, whoever captured so easily a country like Nigeria, in the way they did and how we let them, including me, our fight was not good enough, then there is nothing else they won't attempt to do. Between 23 and 27 is like destroy all the parties.
Right, but if that is your point of view,
yes.
If you believe that, as you suggested, that Wike is a spoiler,
yes,
and you know that the Labour Party is currently being spoiled, whether it is by themselves or by some other external force, and then you see that person that you believe is spoiling the party and splitting the party into factions, having what appeared to be a convivial meeting with one faction, what does that tell you?
It tells me to be smarter. It tells me to be more careful, open my eyes. It tells me to be more dedicated and focused.
But doesn't that undermine what you're trying to do? I mean, doesn't that undermine if assuming it is a fact, because I'm not saying it is a fact.
No, it doesn't. Charles, let me tell you this. There was a time that when they caught drug couriers,
right,
they would arrest them right at the airports and charge them right at the airports. And then there was a time they became smarter. That, all right, let them exit the airport. And in one fell swoop, you catch the courier, the importer, the distributor, and the user. So Uncle Tinubu is welcome to continue to spend Nigerian resources in destroying Nigerian political parties using the kind of wikis and whichever party they are welcome to. We're small. We don't have their kind of wisdom. We don't have their kind of money. But like Nigerians say, one day the monkey goes to the market and he doesn't come back. I won't say more than that. Lots of people have to share in this blame. You see all the things that Wike is doing. I don't agree with them, but it is justified to an extent.
In fairness to Mr. Wike, he denies doing anything. So
It's
beyond
okay.
the fact that he says he wants to
but
re-elect.
Look at it this way.
Tinubu.
I'm trying to say that whatever he's doing, deep down in his mind, I'm trying to remotely psych how he thinks and all that. Right at the square, in the glare of the whole world, a party that he sustained while others were away. A very dear friend of his, at the most critical moment, backstabbed him. As far as he's concerned, these are two northerners who cheated me. These are two House Fulanis, these are two Muslims who cheated me. And we'll teach them a lesson. This is Wike. And well, I won't say.
Well, I don't know, but you appear to know.
This is Wike. So, humanly speaking, I want to be fair.
Yeah.
Whoever is treated that way will definitely fight back. It was not fair. I used to tell these people, be careful, even in your acts of politicking. Be careful. Well, even your acts of treachery. Be careful. Well, your tricks. There is a time you trick somebody beyond imagination.
Right. Well,
and the people who did this to Wike, they come from a very rich history with Wike. What he did for them in 2011, the relationship, the friendship, how it lasted. They came a long way, and the very last minute they do this to him. He will destroy the party. He's a human being. And by the way, if it will get to Wike, I heard something going on in the FCT. Do you see that beautification he's doing with the fences? They said it's to stop the cows from grazing.
You mean those green things?
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
There must be some kind of, does it emit some kind of sound?
He's blocking off all the green areas from the cows to graze. But that's for Wike to ponder on his
Well, that's
people.
very interesting. And that sounds fairly ingenious, if you ask me.
I agree with him. I mean, in a federal capital city like Abuja that you want to keep clean, you don't need to see grazing in here.
That's a very interesting
I know.
Naira, Datti Ahmed is saying, without him working with Peter Obi as a vice, he will still like Peter Obi to run on that Labour Party, not ADC. What's your take on that? Does it mean there's something that Ahmed is seeing that many of us are not seeing? But I'd like to hear from you. Put it on the comment section. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Let's continue to talk about the things that affect you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.